Welcome to the channel and welcome to part 1 of Operation Nurgle's Garden. The fight back for Sentinel has begun. Hi, I'm Winters. This is Mr. AP Byrne. Say hi, Mr. AP Byrne.
Hi, Mr. AP Byrne.
And welcome to Operation Nurgle's Garden, our mini campaign. This mini campaign, the first one is going to be up on YouTube, but the whole campaign will be available for DeploymentZone.tv supporters. If you want to get the whole campaign, then join us in the Deployment Zone. We do loads of little campaigns like this. This is just another one of them. So, Operation Nurgle's Garden. What's going on? What is it about?
It's the big push. It's the big Imperial push to take back Sentinel. We're going to deploy 10 million guardsmen.
10 million.
10 million, but maybe even a few more. 10 million and 3. And we're going to blanket the area. We're going to drop a carpet of airborne troops to secure the main route through to Strike Point Alpha. What is Strike Point Alpha? Strike
Point Alpha is the diamond in the rough. It is the headquarters of the forces of chaos on the planet Sentinel. It is a country-wide bastion, landing areas, macro cannon arrays, factorums, all that sort of stuff. High Command has designated that if Strike Point Alpha falls, the planet of Sentinel will fall. So this is the big push to try and get there. So on this battle grid, we're going to show you one of the stories, one of the chapters in the book, in the story of Operation Nurgle's Garden, because you're bringing your
37th Asinian drop troops.
Those fellas.
And the plan is there's a single long thin road to get to Strike Point Alpha. While there's many routes, this is the only one that can accommodate heavy armour like Bane Blades.
Nice.
So we're dropping in as many air troops as we possibly can across the length of the road to allow the Mordian 29th to smash through and get their heavy armour up to the target.
Yes, so all around this battle grid that we're going to show you, there's another 10,000, 20,000. There's lots and lots of artillery and lots of other things happening. But we're going to focus in on the very eye of the storm, the very centre of the bridge itself, the pass itself, the gap, the fjord. Let's go and have a look at the battle grid. And this is Battle Grid 9. All around, drop troopers are raining from the sky. From miles to the right and miles to the left, we have a ruined cityscape here. And either side of the city, there's marshland and rivers and swamps. And this is the only way through that will fit a Bane Blade on its way to Strike Point Alpha. And maybe it is a bridge too far. No vehicles can cross the swamp. They'll get bogged down and they will sink into it. Death Guard, Plague Marines, things like that. We have the inexorable thingy bob, which means we're not slowed by terrain and things like that. But even Death Guard units will count as slowed if they make their way through this sucking, horrible marsh. This is not a match play battle report. This is narrative. And the 37th needs to take this objective. Before the battle begins, however, we have a Vindicare sniper who's been set up here. Here is his comms array, and he's been calling out to the fleet. He's got perfect comms. He's been telling everyone what's been going on here, and he's astonished to find out that the 37th are making their way to this battle grid, because yes, High Command think that it's just garrisoned by old men and children.
Poxwalkers and Nurglings.
Poxwalkers and Nurglings. We've got, that's what High Command say. There's just some spawn wandering around, things like that. But the Vindicare Assassin can see that there is a small platoon of Death Guard on the bridge. And he's trying to radio through, trying to try the channels to get through to the Astra Militarum. But the comms appear to be down.
Yeah.
The comms are not working. So overhead, while there's the scream of jet engines and while there's the rumble of tanks and while he's telling them, don't come here at this time, this is a bad moment to drop on this AO, they can't hear him. Your assassin, what we're going to do is he's dug in for like a week, many days. He's been there. And when Vindicare assassins dig their way in, they mine and tripwire the whole area up. They're incredibly hard to get to. If I decide to try and charge you, every time I try and charge you, I'm going to take D6 mortal wounds. So he's pretty secure up there. That's how it goes in the lore. We mentioned about the swamps. Tanks can't go through there. Anyone will be slowed down as they make their way through. I have Spawn already and Poxwalkers dotted around this battle grid. This is the remnants of the people who once lived in this ruined city. We are all over the place. And on the battle grid right now, I have a tank. And I have my Chaos Lord Sabbath, who is personally at the front lines at this very moment in time, chatting to the boys, this unit of 7 boys, and wondering what that rumbling is in the distance and all the las cannon fire and all the orbital strikes that are suddenly raining in. He's like, oh, mama, there is, oh, non mama, oh, papa.
Papa Nurgle.
Papa Nurgle, it's coming. They are coming for us. So he's radioing out for support. And so let's go and have a look at these armies. So this is a battalion of the Asinian 37th. It's just under 1,500 points, including the assassin, who's already on the table. Would you like to talk us through what you've got here?
Yeah. I mean, it's quite light on troops, but you know that's the point.
Well,
we're isolated. We're behind enemy lines.
Yeah, and also the other main force, they're doing hit and run missions and other things to try and draw the Nurgly attention away from this crossing point.
Definitely, the regiment's deployed en masse all across the AO.
Yeah,
and this is just one snapshot. This is the pinch point.
Exactly.
So what we've got here is we've got Tempesta Prime Urquhart.
Yes.
Veteran of previous 27 minutes campaign. He's back to take command, and he'll be leading the force today.
I remember 27 minutes, that campaign, which is available in the deployment zone.
Of course.
That's your campaign that you did with me, the Assault on Hannah's Farm.
Yeah. It was one of the best ones, I think.
I think it was one of the best ones. It certainly had an explosive finale.
No spoilers.
So he's back.
Yeah, so he's back, and this is his little cadre. Okay. So he's got a Primaris Psyker here.
Yes.
I can't remember. I think Gaze of the Emperor is one of the psychic powers that she's got, but I can't remember the other one. But we'll come to it later.
Basically, you're going to be using Gaze of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we've got Commissar Hark as well,
okay.
Who is a veteran of the Tanith, but he's now joined these guys here.
Hark.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we've got an astropath, and Urquhart has recruited this astropath because his comms are complete shambles. So in an attempt to get some communication out of the deployment zone, he's brought an astropath along to try and tell them what's going on.
Comms are not working.
This,
Oh, because the comms are not working,
yes,
there will be no orders.
There will be no orders.
That's one of the things that we're given, narratively speaking, throughout the entire campaign. Tank commanders will be able to order themselves in future things and things like that. It represents them really focusing on something. Or a platoon commander will be able to order their platoon to do something.
Yeah.
But no orders across the comms. The Vox is dead.
Vox is down. So, I mean, it's partly hamstringing myself. It's partly making it easier to remember things. But yeah, so there's a bit of a cock up there by the guys in the back room. But these guys are tough. They know what they're doing. So he's also got 2 special weapons squads here, veteran squads. One with a platoon standard.
Yeah.
So we've got some melter, flamer, plasma in there.
Yeah.
And then we've got 3 squads of troopers led by Tempestas, and we've got plasmas in there, a couple of flamers, things like that as well, and a grenade launcher, just to give us a bit more punch.
Okay.
And these guys are going to be led by Inquisitor Frost here.
An Inquisitor himself.
Yes, and he's been deployed because Strike Point Alpha is top priority.
Yeah.
And he needs to see on the ground that the mission is a success.
Well, they need to take this crossing point at Battle Grid 9 so that the Bane Blades can push on through to the other side. If you don't take this, then the Mordian Iron Guard, well...
Yeah, they're going to struggle.
They're going to struggle.
So we've got 2 Valkyries as well to drop us in, and they'll be circling around to give some air support once the drop's been made. And then we've got a fast attack Taurox squadron, which is going to be rumbling up Urquhart and his special weapons guys from the back to kind of speed ahead and take the bridge. Yep.
So airborne drop, supported by the fast movers, take Battle Grid 9. And this is the guard deployment. There are 2 squads in, 1 Valkyrie, another squad in the other Valkyrie. The commander with his cadre of dudes is over here, and 2 more squads inside the Taurox Prime, and they are racing down towards this objective here Yes, there are Poxwalkers and Spawn roaming around the broken city, but Chaos Lord Sabbat can hear these things coming in, can hear the guard coming in, and is calling on reinforcements. And here are my reinforcements. The only things fast enough to come join him in the AO. 2 squads mounted up inside rhinos and 2 drones. And just before the battle begins, they manage to reach the AO and start speeding down to relieve their commander. There are obviously many other Death Guard forces in and around the city, but they are very occupied because the hammer of the Emperor is here and it is descending with a colossal bang onto the planet of Sentinel. So, Mr. AP Byrne,
yes, sir.
This is Battle Grid 9. This is your objective. Operations Nurgle's Garden is a go. So, things to remember, your vehicles can't go through the swampy areas. That will slow me down. He is protected to some degree, and we need to roll off to see who has the initiative. Because quite clearly at this point, it's a couple of minutes in, they can see each other. His comms are working quite fine and was able to claw in some reinforcement, but your radio system is shocking.
I mean, how is Nurgle's radio working better than the Imperial's fighters? But I'll go with it.
Let's roll off to see. Go for it, sir. Let's see if you get it. Oh dear.
It's going to be one of those days, is it?
It's going to be one of those days for the Guard, as it's Death Guard turn 1. Here we are at the end of the Death Guard movement phase. The drones advancing forward because they're out of range. Poxwalkers and Spawn making their way down towards where the noises are. The rhinos advancing down the street as missiles and las cannon rounds shoot over their head. My Chaos Lord ducking behind a pillbox.
Suitably cowardly.
Tactically repositioning so his head doesn't get shot off. We have Poxwalkers and Chaos Spawn all making their way straight towards the Imperial Guard lines. Nothing is in range in the shooting phase except for this lone crawler here. So I'm going to spend a CP on Disgusting Force, and let's put all of the guns into... I can clearly see this tank. The other two are a little bit obscured. So I like to think that the crawler points his guns at the tank that it can see clearly. All guns going into that Taurox. Here's the number of shots from the mortar for 6 shots. Fire rains down from the sky and hits on 3s, and that's 5 hits, and it will wound on 3s and reroll 1s because it's a plague weapon. And that's 3 wounds at AP -2, sir, each doing 3 damage.
So 5 ups.
And that's 6 damage to the Taurox, and then 2 entropy cannons zip across and slam home, and at AP -4 there is no save. And it's D3 +3.
You're going to pop it.
So that's a minimum 8 damage.
It's popped.
It's popped. Does it go kaboom? It
No.
doesn't go kaboom. How many guys are inside this one?
In that one we've got 6 guys.
Okay. 4 guys.
4 guys, it's command squad.
Yes.
I got excited.
Yes.
1 dies.
And one of them doesn't even make it to the battle grid. It's a bad day to be a guardsman. The Taurox gets turned to wreckage. Then my Spawn, I like to think that it was going to go charging and start clawing one of the Tauroxes, but that's the end of my shooting phase. Because they're out, it's going to try and charge them. Yeah, there's some soft meat there for the Spawn to nibble on. Not the best tactical decision, because you can overwatch with 2 melters and a flamer.
Yeah.
But definitely narrative. So you are overwatching. So whoosh goes the flamer and hits 6 times.
Yeah.
And wounds twice. And I take 2 wounds and then 2 melter shots. You've got 2 more to get through. So 6 is to hit. No. Can the Spawn make the charge? No. So let's command point that. It's, yeah. He's like, yeah, come on. You can do it. No. Because I will get slowed by the terrain, and Chaos Spawn, well, they're not Death Guard. They might have been Death Guard once. And that's it for Death Guard turn 1. The opening shots in the battle for Grid 9 have been exchanged. A Taurox is down, a Spawn is on fire, and now the 37th can make their move. Here we are after the 37th movement phase. Both of the Valkyries hit the air brakes and zip down to VTOL mode. It gives them +1 to hit. because they're roving gun platforms. Back here, the team that got blown out of one of the Taurox is going to flame this unit of Poxwalkers, and the Melters are going to take on the spawn at the other side. Meanwhile, the other two Taurox Primes move up. They're moving into position, ready to take this choke point. But first, before they disembark, they're going to unleash hell. So we've got missiles and autocannons which are going to streak into the tank. These are Taurox Primes. You paid the points, so they're hitting on 3s.
Here we go.
Here's the autocannons. 2 of the hits slam home. Can it get through the armour though? You need 5s.
No.
Negative. 2 missile fires coming in, hitting on 3s. One of them hits will wound on a 4.
Does wound.
That does wound. I fail the save. Let's command point that. I fail the save. D6 damage on the tank. 4, which becomes 3. It's down to 9 left. We're going to rinse and repeat with the other Taurox Prime, only bringing the best armour to this fight. Autocannons. 3 of them thump home. 5s to wound. No wounds again. And 3s to hit with the missiles. Both
2
of those
hits.
hits. Nice. 4s to wound.
2 wounds.
5 up and vulnerable saves. I failed both of them as well. Haven't made a save. 2d6 damage.
8.
That becomes 6 damage. It's on a couple left. On to the Valkyries. What are we doing with Valkyrie number 1, sir?
So this Valkyrie here, it's going to put the las cannon and the heavy bolters into the tank, and it's going to put the rocket pods into your plague marines there.
Okay, +1 to hit because you're hovering.
Yeah, so we'll start with the las cannon.
Okay, you need a 3.
Nope.
You missed. You could command point it. I've been spending command points like toffee.
You know what? YouTube and the whole world is going to hate me because it's me, but I'm going to CP reroll that.
You're going to CP reroll that?
It's a historic moment, this.
Well, because you don't normally do rerolls, but rerolls now are just hits, wounds, damage.
Yeah.
They're not like explosions and things like that.
Yeah, you don't really change the narrative.
No.
You just change the... Yeah, you might... Anyway, right, there you go.
It hits. Wounds on a 3. It wounds. Can I make a save this time? Yes, I can.
For God's sake.
Okay, so you've got the... What are we doing
Heavy
now?
bolters.
Heavy bolters. This is 6 shots because you've got 2 of them.
Yeah.
1 from each door gunner.
Yeah.
Door gunner Charlie's hanging out the side gun.
Here we go.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
So that's an obscene amount of ones, but I do get 3 hits.
Yeah, and now you need 5s to win. And you get 1 wound. And I make that save. But now you've got 2d6 hits with the missile pods coming into the Plague Marines.
6.
These will hit on 3s. Missile pods slamming in from the skies. Strength 5 versus toughness 5. You need 4s to wound. These are... They all wound. Now they're -1. Well, behind an obstacle. So +1. But you do take one of them out.
Sweet.
And one is stumbling, reeling from the blow. Now we're on to Valkyrie number 2, which is doing what now?
It's going to put everything into this tank.
Everything.
It has to die. It has to.
Okay.
So we'll start with the las cannon.
Yes.
Which hits.
Okay. It hits. It does wound.
It does wound.
5 up and vulnerable save.
No.
Fail the save. D6 damage. 2, which becomes 1. It's on 2 wounds remaining.
Shots from the heavy bolters.
Yep. Okay, 5 hits. That's good. 5s to wound. This is the tricky part.
No,
2 wounds. 2 5 up and vulnerable saves. It's on 1 wound remaining. And now the missile pods.
The rocket pods have to do the trick. That's a lot of shots.
Rockets fall like rain all around the tank, hitting on 3s and wound on 5s. Okay, 2. 2 4-up saves or a dead tank. Dead tank, which blows up. Kaboom. Right. Every unit within 6 inches suffers D3 mortal wounds, which happens to be my Chaos Lord and the Plague Marines.
That'll teach him to take cover.
Yeah. So you can do it. You can find out how much damage it is. How much on the Plague Marines?
3.
For 3. That will kill another one. How much on my Lord?
1.
For 1. Oh, I should have mentioned Warlord Traits and things. So yeah, Warlord Traits. He's got hulking physique, so we start with an extra wound anyway. He can't be wounded on a 1, 2, 3. So it's down to 6 wounds. He's also got the Plague Skull of Glothilla, which is a mortal wound bomb. I like to think that he's carrying it around with him just in case, break glass in case of emergency. Your Prime, what has he got?
He's got old grudges, which I
Old
completely
grudges.
forgot to mention.
Yeah, me too.
Basically, he picks one of your units.
Yes.
Which we're going to say Sabbath because it makes narrative sense.
Okay.
And it means that I can re-roll failed wounds against them.
Can you?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you have a relic as well?
Yes, I do. 2 seconds while I go over to my little phone. It's a really good app, this, from GW.
Is there? Is there a really good app? Is it really good? Really?
Yeah. I use it. Anyway, he's going to have the he's going to have the Emperor's Benediction, which is like a better bolt pistol.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he re-rolls wounds against my lord, and he's got a better bolt pistol.
Sorry, not him. Not my Tempesta. My Commissar.
Commissar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commissar.
So the Guard have taken out their first target, the Crawler defending the crossing. Now we're coming back to the Scions. A Flamer is going to lick into these guys here. Multi-melters. Melters? Normal melters into the spawn.
Yeah.
What are we starting with first?
We'll do the Flamer first.
Okay.
Ooh.
6 hits. Nice and toasty. Can you burn them? You can only burn 2, which I can shrug on 6s. And I do shrug. Oh, they're in a ruin. 6-up save, then a 6-up. No, one of them gets set on fire.
That's better than none.
These Scions are in trouble. Now the melters into the spawn.
3s.
2 of them hit. And they both wound. That's a dead spawn. No save, no nothing. It just gets torn in 2. So now we're on to the Vindicare, who was eyeing up my Chaos Lord. But while he was trying to call through to the Guard on the Vox, which doesn't work, the Chaos Lord has ducked into cover. So he's going to pick on a Plague Marine and hit him on a 2.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Let's just say he was very, very distracted. And with the misfire from the Vindicare Assassin, this operation just went from bad to worse. The Death Guard are racing down towards Battle Grid 9 to defend this crossing. Let's find out what they do in Death Guard turn 2. Here we are after Nurgle's movement phase. The drones are now suddenly in range, and we have Poxwalkers and Spawn advancing forward around the middle. One of the tanks has gone smashing through the barricade. The other Plague Marines stepping out of the way. We have some more Poxwalkers around here. Let's not forget, Mr. AP Burn, these Valkyries have slipped down into hover mode, getting ready to drop off their troops.
Yeah.
Which means that this Chaos Spawn and this Chaos Spawn is going to leap on the canopy and attack the Valkyries. It does mean that you can't fall back and shoot. Which feels a bit gamey, but it also feels a bit narrative. Yeah. I mean, if you're the gunner and the pilot inside one of these Valkyries, and you're coming landing into the AO, and there's this thing trying to rip its way through the canopy to get to the soft meat, it would probably...
Personally, I'd just slide the door.
slide the door shut and lock
just,
it.
Wind it down.
So yeah, it will prevent them from shooting next turn by charging them, but they're obviously going to do that. They're going to leap up and try and get it. Some Poxwalkers are going to leap forward towards one of the Tauroxes, and these ones, well, there's no point going up after the Vindicare, not when there's some people down here that we can turn into Poxwalkers ourselves. So the Death Guard will open up the shooting phase by shooting at things, and I didn't even think about what I want to target. 1 minute. I think Chaos Lord Sabbath will order both of the drones to fire at one of these Valkyries. Try and weaken one of them up. So here's 6 shots from their heavy Blight Launcher coming into Valkyrie number 1. 3's to hit it because it is in hover mode, and that's 5 hits. But 5's to wound, and that's 3 wounds. It is AP -3. These are nasty Blight Launchers. 2 damage each though, so you need to make 3 6-up saves. And you make 1 of them. 4 damage so far, 10 wounds left. Here's the other drone, only 3 hits. And 2 more wounds, 2 more 6-up saves. You don't make any of those saves either. Acidic rounds eat through the hull of the Valkyrie. Then the chatter of mass reactive rounds open up from the Rhino that didn't advance and from the Plague Marines slamming into the side of the Valkyrie, taking 1 more wound off of it. It's down to 5 wounds remaining, and that is the end of my shooting phase. Now we have some charges. This Spawn will charge the Valkyrie. Would you like to overwatch with this one? Or this one? Or this one? There's charges all over the place coming in here, sir. Who will be given the order to overwatch? Any at all, or...?
I kind of know. Crack on.
This spawn makes the charge. I want to get some blue tack and glue it on the side here because it's chewing the bit. So he auto gets in. This spawn auto gets in, but really he's up here clawing at it. Around here, these Poxwalkers charging the Flamer and Melt guys.
I'm going to Overwatch for them.
Really? That mean they're lost. They're lost to this world.
Yeah, that's true. Crack on. Turn them into Poxwalkers.
Talking off camera there, even if you did manage to kill a couple in Overwatch, they're not going to be very combat effective for many, many more turns.
Nope.
So now these Poxwalkers, the last charge, as they hop up and over the barricade and assault a Taurox Prime?
I think I will Overwatch with the Taurox Prime.
Okay. So the autocannons miss, but the missiles, 2d6 hits, shots, 9 shots. Maybe some of these will manage to slam home.
Need more dice?
6s to hit. 1 hit.
Better than none.
4s to wound. No. Okay. And I rolled an 11-inch charge. So the Poxwalkers make the charge into that prime there. They will gum up the tracks and prevent it from racing forward as well. Those are all my charges. We're going to start down here with the 9 Poxwalkers remaining, attacking the last of these 3 Scions, the command squad. I have 2 attacks each. Mini attacks. Hitting on 4s and wounding on 4s. And the guardsmen have 7 4-up saves to make, lest they be turned into Poxwalkers.
Easy, easy. We are the best of the best. We've trained for years for this. They're dead.
They're dead. Now, the other thing is, because this is narrative, that unit started with 10 Poxwalkers. In match play, you can't go over your starting strength. But
narrative.
It's narrative. 3 of these guys died. So I've got 3 more Poxwalkers as they get afflicted with the curse of the walking pox. And a unit of 9 Poxwalkers becomes a unit of 13 Poxwalkers, and they can feel the warm heartbeat from the Vindicare assassin above them. They're going to go charging into him next turn. We're going on to the other unit of Poxwalkers here. I'm spending a CP on Mutant Strain.
What?
And there's lots of attacks, 4s to hit. So the way this works is, because we're attacking a vehicle, the Mutant Strain is kicking in, so this is acidic touch, rust and filth leaking out of their bones, the crest of Papa Nurgle itself. And after the combat's resolved, on 1s I take mortal wounds to my own unit. And on 6s, you'll take mortal wounds. So I'm going to give you 3 mortal wounds, but I also need to wound it on 6s. So there's 1 armor save,
yeah.
1
save,
which you make, and then you take 3 mortal wounds as the acid leaches through the hull. I take 5 mortal wounds, which I can actually shrug on 6s, and 4 of my dudes die anyway. The corrosive touch actually destroys the Poxwalkers themselves as they channel the power of Papa Nurgle. Right. Spawn versus Valkyrie.
Uh-oh.
Spawn are mutated beyond reason. You roll a d3. They've grown some razor claws. They have an AP of -4.
So they basically got can openers.
Yes. 2d3 attacks. For only 2 attacks. They hit on 4s though. Ooh, where is the dice? I dropped it. They hit on 4s. Okay, I hit you once at strength 5. I do wound, and that is 2 damage at AP -4.
Yeah, no save, straight through.
How many wounds have got left?
3 left.
3 left. Okay, mutated.
It's smoking, it's struggling, but
Yeah.
it needs to get the troopers out.
Yeah.
It needs to get this drop out.
Mutated beyond reason with the other spawn. 6. Right, that means the spawn is having a toxic hemorrhage.
I'd see some of that.
Yeah, you can. I think I had one of them this morning. So 2d3 attacks. This time it has 4 attacks, and it will hit on 4s. And toxic hemorrhage means I think you can re-roll. 1 minute. Yes, re-roll the wound roll. Toxic hemorrhages are very nasty. Okay, so that is 3 wounds at AP -2, 2 damage on Valkyrie number 2. Bird number 2. Ooh.
Save 2 of them.
That's the end of the fight phase. The Valkyries try to fight back. I imagine pistol fire from the canopies, things like that. They didn't.
I got the door gunners to fix bayonets.
Try and stab them off the hull. So the Valkyries didn't do any damage back. This one's on 12 wounds. This one is on 3 wounds. They have got a Chaos Spawn latched to either side of their hull as they're aiming down towards the AO. You might want to reconsider dropping just a couple of units of guardsmen here, because there's 7 dudes, and there's a lot of smelly stuff in the middle of this bridge.
Well, we have to try. I've got a guy with an umbrella in there who wants to get stuck in.
But is it a bridge too far, Miss Rapey Burn?
Never.
Is it a bridge too far?
I've always thought it might be.
And here we are after the Asinian 37th movement phase. Both of the flyers have gone back into the air, back into flying mode. Not before green light in the cabin, and they've dropped their troopers on the ground. They haven't managed to drop them directly on the AO. The AO is swarming instead. 2 platoons get out of this flyer before it zipped that way, and the injured one, the one it is trailing smoke, has dropped out its platoon on this side, and they've shaken off the spawn. The spawn dropped off the canopy as soon as the afterburners were lit, and both of these squads find a spawn right in front of them. One of the Taurox is busted up and over the barricade, and is this way? This is the one with a banner bearer in, and he's looking at a swarm of Death Guard coming down towards his line. Meanwhile, your leader and the astropath have disembarked from this Taurox. The Taurox is absolutely swarming with Poxwalkers. They're all over the canopy, and the driver's like, get out, shoot them off the hull. So Tempesta Prime Urquhart has ordered all platoons to disembark except for this one. Before they have reached the AO, this place was supposed to be guarded by old men and children, but instead the Vox is down. They can't get through to high command. There's a couple of platoons of Death Guard in front of them. This clean drop is turning into a shit show, but that's another day in the guard. It's
FUBAR.
It's FUBAR, guys. We've got a psychic phase. The astropath is going to unleash a smite, lightning from his fingertips, into the Poxwalkers.
Goes off.
And it goes off. It'll do D3 mortal wounds on the Poxwalkers.
For one.
Which it doesn't shrug, and one of them gets turned to pulp. So that was the astropath. Now we have the Psyker putting psychic barrier on the Taurox.
And that does not go off.
That does not go off. Then we're going into the shooting phase, shooting the non-blast missiles and the autocannons directly into the Poxwalkers, clambering over the hull. And 3 of the spawn get taken out. Now, platoon number 1, firing all the guns into the spawn.
Yeah, why not?
It's like, kill it,
Get
dead.
rid of it. I mean, they've just dropped out. They've got the green light. The pilot was panicking. There was a spawn all over his craft. They've dropped out. They're like, we're in the wrong place. There's a big green horrible thing that smells a bit. Shoot it.
Shoot it with everything.
It's a bit Starship Troopers. What do we do? Kill them. Kill them all. And then unleash hell.
Nice.
Here we go.
3
threes. Nice.
What an impressive array of firepower.
They
These
are
hot
the best
shotguns.
of the best.
They're sent 3, bottom's 5, winning on 5s, but I won't get a save. And the spawn gets taken out. They melt the spawn to oblivion. One of the troopers shouts out, "What is that thing? What was that thing?" "Dead," says the sergeant. "That's what it is. It's dead."
The Inquisitor also says, it doesn't matter what that thing was.
Yeah, it's the enemy. That's all you need to know. Right, what are we going on to next?
First squad here is going to fire its hotshot lads into this spawn.
Oh, rinse and repeat.
Yeah. It's a slightly smaller squad.
Okay.
And it's got a plasma gun in there as well. So
are you overcooking the plasma?
We'll see where we get to. We'll do the hotshot first because it did the job for us last time.
Fire discipline. 4 hotshot lads coming in hot. 6s explode.
Not bad.
5s to melt its stinking hide. 1 wound. It's got 3 left. It's still alive.
The Tempesta in that squad shouts, "Bring up the plasma."
Okay.
And he's bringing up the plasma.
And
we're going to overcook it.
Okay. Oh, it's rapid fire range. You get 2 shots.
That's 2 more chances to overcharge.
Mushes his finger on the trigger.
He hits twice.
He feathers it perfectly. 3s to kill. And it's on 1 wound remaining. That's 2 damage.
We have a hotshot pistol.
From the Sarge?
From the Tempesta.
Okay. Well, 1 shot. It's a pistol.
Just 1 shot.
And he hits 5 to kill it.
No.
And the sergeant cannot bring it down. So the second squad are firing. 3 of them shot across here, not in rapid fire range, taking out 2 of the Poxwalkers. The other 3 in rapid fire range. have been taken out to take, ordered to take out this bleeding, stinking, wounded beast right in front. They hit on 3s.
Not quite as good, but still.
6s explode.
Oh, of course they do. Thank you.
Okay, now 5s to kill it.
They won't explode until I remember it. Yes.
And you bring the second spawn down. So the troopers managed to get out of their Valkyries, kill the creatures that were clambering all over the canopy, but there's wafts of stink rolling down the main highway towards them. And these troopers hugging onto the ruins here, well, they can hear some chittering and scritching noises right behind them. What's in the ruins, Sarge? What's behind us? Just focus on the target ahead, soldier. Your platoon suddenly has got really crappy American accents, have you noticed?
No, they haven't. They're the finest British accents. I think
okay. Focus on the troop ahead, Sergeant. Don't worry about what's behind.
Only the 37th would be trusted with this prize. The other kind of rubbishy Volcanists with their American accents, they're taking the other bridges.
The Volcanist 22nd Air Assault Brigade will be turning up at some point in Operation Nurgle's Garden.
They couldn't be trusted with this, so we've had to step in and take, the elite take control of this one. So far it's
not going well.
What are you talking about? Nearly there.
You killed a couple of spawn.
Hey, that's that. We'll take every victory we get.
And the last thing you have left to fire is this Taurox Prime here, looking at about 20 Plague Marines.
We don't know that, though. It's just 2 smoking, stinky, slimy rhinos that have been knocking around for 10,000 years. They're easy to take out.
Yeah. So what you're doing about the smelly, stinky rhino, you're going to put everything into it?
Everything into it.
Okay, I'm popping smoke. You're hitting on force. Smoke canisters activated.
Just hit twice with the autocannons.
Okay. Force to wound.
Wound
twice. I make both of the saves. Can the missiles crack open the armour? Force to hit. What?
It's just kind of picturing the auto cannon rounds like the gunner lining it up, getting the target lock, and then they just bounce off the hull. Yeah. It's 10,000 years old. It's resilient. It's lived in the warp for many, many years. Actually, it's Nurgle in it. Probably just absorbs the round, just gets stuck in a pustule of goo or something on the side.
It just thumps in and just sizzles off the... Maybe it eats it. It's got a mouth on it and everything. Right, missiles.
Crack missiles?
Yes. One of them hits. 3s to wound. I can't even see it. It does wound. I don't make the save. D6 damage. It's 6 damage. It's a critical hit. The rhinos do have contagions. They're very contagious if you touch them, but they don't have disgustingly resilient. So it's only on 4 wounds left. You've blown the bloody tracks off. Then we come back round here to the command squad, and they're firing bolt pistols into the Poxwalkers. And you kill a couple. Now the Vindicare firing at the Chaos Plague Marines over there one more time. And he misses. One more time. What was that?
It's the worst Vindicare in the entire officer.
I like to think that, look, this thing just flew across his vision as he went to pull the trigger. So he pulled a shot high. He's like, oh no! Otherwise he would have hit the pilot or something.
No, he can make those. It's like Mark Wahlberg in that Shooter film, where he shoots through the exhaust blast and the rotor blades of a helicopter.
Yeah. Well, this one can't. He's not as good as Mark Wahlberg.
Well.
That is the end of the shooting phase. We still have 2 Poxwalkers clambering over this hole here. So Eckhart orders, fix bayonets, and charge, fellas, charge. The Tempesta Prime of this operation steps forward with the Commissar, telling the Brain Boys to stand back, fellas, step back. He raises his power fist and smushes twice. Can he grab one, though? They're slippery. On 3s.
Yes.
Oh, he can. 6s to shrug one. No. 6s to shrug the other. No. He rips them apart limb from limb. And they consolidate 3 inches forward to join the drop troopers that came out on Valkyrie Number Two. And that is the end of Guard. Turn 2. They are just meters from the bridge, meters from their drop. But the Death Guard have a chance to respond now.
In this Taurox here, we've got the banner bearer, and he's shouting over to his commander, who's just within earshot here. Saying, please, sir, can we have a stab at it?
Will they get a stab of it, or will the Death Guard stab back in turn 3? Here we are after the Death Guard's movement phase. They've taken the central objective on Battle Grid 9. Back here, the Vindicare, who can't hit anything, is about to get charged by some Poxwalkers. Remember, his claymores will go off. They will take D6 mortal wounds on the charge, but because he can't hit anything, Chaos Lord Sabbath has decided, well, he's safe. So he's advanced up and over with the barricade. These guys just jumped over the barricade, walking normally, ready to fire down into the Scions. This Rhino advanced after dropping off Squad Number 2. Squad Number 3 are still in that Rhino there. So there is a large Plague Marine presence. We have Poxwalkers making their way through the swamp. Poxwalkers making their way through the swamp. There is a spawn over here that advanced a long way through the swampy marsh. And there is a spawn. You can see the claw sticking. I'll show you. There's a claw around here. He's about to charge the unit of Scions from behind. Whereas these guys, well, they can sense a heartbeat inside that Taurox Prime and are going to try and wreck open one of the transports. So we're going to pour it on this turn. Oh, yes, we're going to pour it on. So let's go on to the Germans. Sorry, the Death Guards shooting phase. Drone number 1 firing up at this Valkyrie, trailing smoke, hitting on 4s though because it's gone supersonic, igniting its afterburners. 3 of them hit and 3 of them wound. You need to make 3 6s here, sir.
We can do it.
No. And on a 6 it explodes and rains fire down on the squad below.
No.
It does not. Instead, it just trails off and crashes somewhere outside the AO. Drone number 2 firing down at this Taurox Prime right in front. The other vehicle. 3s to hit it. Only get 3 hits through. And toughness? 6? I think that's 2 wounds.
Yeah.
Rerolling one of them. 2 wounds, 2, -3.
-3, that's 6 up saves.
No, and that's 4 damage off the Prime. Right in front of the Prime, we're going to fire the Blight Launcher into it. The bolt guns are going to come raining into the platoon over here. Will be minuses to hit, firing through the swamp. But here's the Blight Launcher. I am rerolling 1s because that's why I ran up my Chaos Lord. And I'm wounding on 5s. And that's 1 wound at -2.
5 up.
Make the save.
Sweet.
There's 4 bolt guns there because there's extra close combat weapons, but I'm Death Guard, so I always rapid fire at max range. 4s to hit, rerolling 1s, 3s to wound, it brings them down. 3 wounds at AP dash into this. They get +1 though because of the obstacle. They duck and cover.
Oh, make 1.
And there was another wound.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I made it anyway.
Okay, but what was that?
It's the dodgiest German accent I've ever heard.
This Death Guard accent. That's how they talk on the Plague Planet.
All right.
Yes. So now's the second squad. We'll unload into them as well. 4s or thumps. Rerolling 1s. 4 hits. And 3s.
You know thump is 5, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't speak Death Guard, sorry. 2 more wounds. 3 more wounds. 3 more 3-up saves. And 1 more brave Tommy gets cut down. The injured Rhino fired in. Didn't manage to get any hits through. The non-injured Rhino. 4s and 3s. No wounds from both of the Rhinos. Just all the mass reactive rounds coming this way across the swampy river. I think that's all the shots. Yes, that's all the firepower I can bring to bear. So now, this unit of Death Guard will charge the Taurox Prime and make the charge. The Plague Marines make it there. 1 die to Overwatch on the way in. The gunner just mashing the finger on the trigger. Now we have the spawn on that side of the ruin charging this unit. Oh, he's angry. Then we have these Poxwalkers charging the Taurox Prime. And they make that charge as well. And then my Poxwalkers over here will automatically get into the Vindicare. But let's roll the charge to see how many get in. And then on the way in, they'll take D6 mortal wounds as the claymores go off.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so he might not be good at shooting things, but he can certainly lay some traps. And I don't make any of my shrugs. So the Poxwalkers make it into the Assassin. These fellas make it into the Taurox Prime. We have multiple charges across the line. Where do I want to start? I think I want to start with Poxwalkers into Vindicare, and I think I want to spend a CP on Mutant Strain one more time. Let's use Acid for blood. Let's use acidic touches on our fingers. Maybe we can melt him, because 4s to hit, but 6s do mortal wounds in addition. There's a Yahtzee of 2s, and then I'll wound you on a 5. I don't wound you. So he takes a mortal wound, and then the 2 wands kill 2 of my guys, but one of them shrugs. So there's only 3 Poxwalkers remaining here. And the Vindicare is on 4 wounds remaining. And then the Scions, the brave Scions in combat with the Spawn, well, they're interrupting. They fix bayonets. The Tempester revs his chainsword. They hit on 4s?
Yep, 4s in combat.
And wound on 5s.
1 wound.
1 5-up save.
Oh, God.
They don't even cut through the Spawn's hide.
That carapace.
And the Spawn is mutated beyond reason. So I reroll wounds when I fight. And they have 2d3 attacks for only 2 attacks. Hitting on 4s. And wounding on that. AP -2, 2 damage.
Okay, so that's a 6-up save. Oh, nailed it.
So the Spawn is obviously confused. Its tiny brain doesn't know what's going on from this countercharge here. It doesn't manage to land a telling blow. Now my Poxwalkers over here will assault this tank. Hitting on 4s, winning on 6s. 1 wound came through. And you make the save.
Sweet.
They don't even manage to dent the armour. But now we're on to the Plague Marines. Okay, you killed 1 in Overwatch, Mr. AP Burn. So I'm going to get nasty. I'm spending 2 CP. 1 on the Creeping Blight and 1 on Trench Fighters.
Are you sure all this other gubbins isn't nasty enough?
No, this is going to be nastier. So what that means is I get an extra attack with my Plague Weapons, and 4 6s to wound count as AP -4. You won't get a save. There is a champion with a fist, and he hits twice. And he wounds twice. 2 6-up saves.
Save 1.
Okay, so it's down to 4 wounds remaining. Now he has a plague knife, and then everyone else has 2 attacks plus a plague knife. So everyone else has 3 attacks. But there's a fella in there with 2 plague knives anyway. That dude. So he's got 4.
Why does he need 2 plague knives?
2 plague knives. He put down his gun, he picked up an extra plague knife for opening up cans of beans and rations and things like that, you see?
It is a tough life on the Western Front.
We hit on 3s. And I win on 5s, and I reroll 1s, because plague weapon. Right, that one you don't get a save. And then you've got 1, 2, only 3 more at -1. So 3 more 4-up saves.
No, all go through.
And it had 4 wounds remaining.
Yeah, so with the one that I didn't save.
That's enough to take it out. Does it go kaboom?
No.
No, and there's 4 people inside, including the banner bearer.
1 dies.
One of them gets cut down as they try and disembark from the wreckage.
It won't be the banner bearer.
The squad gets out. The pride of the 37th is fluttering in the wind. Call to arms, men. Call to arms.
Carry the colours forward.
Now, I think that's it. We've done the fight over there. We've done the fight over there. It's just the assassin getting to fight back against the 3 Poxwalkers that have stormed his position.
Sweet.
How many attacks do they have? 4? 5? They hit on 2s. He's still an assassin. Can he actually hit something this game? Let's find out.
If he can hit in close combat,
Yeah.
but not hit a donkey, cow's arse with a band. No, what is
Well, I don't know.
it? Donkey's arse with a band.
What?
Look, 2s.
Okay. He hits 4 times.
Where were those before?
I don't know. His strength 4?
Strength 4.
He wounds twice. He kills 2 of them. There is 1 Poxwalker tying him up, slowing him down. He can't free up his weapon to take the clean shot, because over his left shoulder he can see that Chaos Lord Sabbat has broken free of his little coterie and is just standing there in the wind, praying to get shot at, looking to get shot at. But you're still in combat with 1 smelly Poxwalker trying to beat him off with the entrenching tool.
It's fine, he'd probably miss anyway.
And the Poxwalker has got a suspicious... He goes, brains? Suspicious...
brains?
Death Guard accent. Right, we have a morale test to take with this squad, which lost 3 dudes.
Yeah.
Good luck. Are they leadership 8? If they're leadership 8, you're fine. If you're not leadership 8, then things just got a hell of a lot worse. They're leadership 7, Mr. AP Burn.
But my platoon standard, the colours of the 37th, give me +1 to my leadership within 6 inches.
They rally to the standard. They do not break. They see them fluttering in the wind and they go, no, not one step backwards, fellas.
Onwards.
We can see the objective.
To the bridge.
To the bridge. Turn 3. Here we are after the 37th movement phase. The Valkyrie firing, swooping through the sky, offering fire support down on the beleaguered troops. Talking about beleaguered troops, one of these squads got shot up last turn, so the second squad has moved forward, spending a CP to consolidate squads. They are now one big platoon, and they mean to rain fire into the Plague Marines on the other side of the barricade. The Plague Marines that ripped open the Taurox Prime and are bearing down on the banner bearer. They are supported by the psychic might of the Astropath and the Primaris Psyker, and of course the leaders of this expedition on the other side of the barricade. Can you hear that? I wonder if the camera's picking up that car alarm.
It's not a car alarm. It's the alert siren in, I don't know, that Valkyrie?
Yeah, alert.
Target lock.
It's gone off now. Meanwhile, the Inquisitor, who wasn't engaged with the Chaos Spawn, is running around here. He's got a Thunder Hammer with the Chaos Spawn's name on it. The Taurox Prime is swarmed with Poxwalkers and is staying there. And the Vindicare. Well, the Vindicare is a close combat specialist. Who knew? And he might be able to fight his way out of close combat this turn. We're about to find out. But before we do, if this works, by the way, if you do kill that squad and kill that spawn, there is another squad inside that Rhino, but you've got fire support up there. There is breathing room. You just need everything to go well.
Well, it's gone really well so far,
yeah.
So it will continue to go well.
Let's see if it continues to go well. With the psychic phase, we have a smite coming into the Plague Marines, lightning leaping across the barricade.
Yeah, there we go.
Hits the Plague Marines for D3 mortal wounds and kills one of them. Are you smiting with the second one?
Yeah.
A smite and a smite. Lightning lighting up the roadway. That works. Another D3 mortal wounds.
Ooh, big 3.
Okay, so 2 and a bit Plague Marines get cut down by the psychic might of the Scions. Now we're on to the shooting phase. The Vindicare pulls out his pistol and tries to shoot this Poxwalker in the face. Can he hit something? You couldn't write it. You couldn't write it.
He's right there, man.
He's right there. He's right in front of you, man. After that terrible bit of pistol fire, we had pistol fire in the centre. The Prime took a wound off the spawn. All the characters here laid their pistols down into this unit of Plague Marines and took out the injured one. So there's only 3 stood in front of the Scions now. What are we doing next, sir?
First thing we're going to try is the command squad's going to fire all its gun into this squad of...
There's a heavy
Marines.
Flamer there, right?
There is a Flamer.
Okay.
D6 auto hits.
Whoosh.
Oh,
he didn't pump the handle well enough.
Wounds
It does wound. And I fail the save. He does injure one.
Then we've got the plasma gun.
Yes.
Kind of overcook it.
Okay. Is it a plasma pistol or plasma gun?
It's a plasma gun.
You get an extra shot then at this range.
Of course, rapid fire range. Still misses.
It misses. Does the banner bearer have a grenade or something?
No, he has hot shot las gun.
Okay.
Rapid fire range.
Okay.
1 hit.
Yes. Doesn't wound. Okay.
So that was poo.
Then the Taurox fired into close combat, killed a couple of Poxwalkers. Now we're on to the Scions, who are now Grenadiers.
Yeah, I'm spending a CP for Grenadiers and another one for Vengeance Cadia.
Okay.
So everyone's got a crack grenade.
And they throw all their grenades over the barricades into the Plague Marines.
And re-rolling hits against failed hits against chaos.
Because of Vengeance Cadia. So 3s to hit. Re-rolling everything.
Oh, only 3.
Yeah. And that's a pretty good array of hits. And the reason why you're chucking grenades is because your hotshot guns are strength 3, but these grenades are strength 6.
Yes.
So you're winning on 3s instead of winning on 5s. And that's a good amount of explosions there.
Boom.
The Death Guard scream, Granada! And duck and cover. And failed 2, because I'm in range of that barricade. So 1 will kill 1. And then D3 on the other dude. You killed 2.
Yay!
Right, and that's it for all the shooting phase, except for the fire from the sky. Calling for fire support. Where is the fire coming in, sir?
I'm splitting fire because it always works.
Yes.
Rocket pod's going to go into this unit of Marines down here. And then everything else, the bolters and the las cannon. Because he's just got to die. He's just so annoying.
Okay. You're hitting on 4s, though, as it banks through the sky. Let's do a las cannon. Let's see if you can hit him. And, of course, you miss him.
Of course.
So you got the heavy bolters this way, you said?
That's 6 shots.
6 shots. 4s to hit. 3 of them hit. That's perfectly statistically average. Strength 5. Toughness 5. They all wound at -1. And he gets taken out.
Thank God for that.
They stitch the AO, blow him away. Now we have
close for these guys.
Oh yeah. And now we have 2d6 rocket pods raining in to the unit of Plague Marines. That's 7. That's Nurgle's number. That means none of these will hit or wound, or I'll make all the saves. They won't do any damage. 4s to hit though. They do hit. Strength 5 versus toughness 5. 2 wounds at AP -1. Yeah, see, I make the save because it was Nurgle's number. It was 7 hits.
You disgusting.
The blessed number. When the smoke clears, a unit of Plague Marines has been entirely obliterated. That is the end of the Scions shooting phase. In the charge phase, wisdom being the better part of valor, you're not charging through the swamp towards the Poxwalkers. Instead, you're waiting for them to charge you, where Overwatch could potentially do more damage than punching them. You're hitting them on 4s, winning them on 5s. If you do punch them, do you want to punch them?
I really want to punch them, but narratively, that wouldn't be. It'd be objective. You know, let them come to us, get in a solid position.
Okay.
They're just meandering around in the water at the moment. You know, this is where the action is.
And I am moving 2 right now, because we did say all Death Guard units would be slowed by this. Vehicles can't even cross it. They'll just sink into the ooze. So I am moving 2, and then 2 inches. I might not even make the charge, to be fair. But your Inquisitor is charging in against this spawn.
I mean, he can't fail.
He can't fail. Yeah. He goes wailing in there, and then he gets to strike. The Inquisitor raises his Thunderhammer. He'll hit on 4s.
Yes,
Mush.
He will.
He hits twice. He'll wound on 3s. And interestingly enough, it's AP -2, 3 damage. I don't get a save, and I already took a wound.
Yeah, 3
That's
damage.
A dead spawn. He rescues the squad. Okay, more combats. Can the Poxwalker take down your Vindicare? I'm going to spend a CP on Mutant Strain again.
Of course you are.
And kill myself.
Yeah.
He kills himself. The acid, it's so corrosive. It just melts in front of him.
Can a Vindicare count that as under kill, please?
What, for him?
Yeah.
Definitely not, no. It's not a kill for him.
He needs more notches on his barrel.
He needs to have something on his barrel. Perhaps a scope might help.
I just picture it, but they just can't.
Right, okay, let's do the fight between the Taurox and the Poxwalkers. Okay, the Poxwalkers didn't do anything, but miraculously the Taurox managed to run over a Poxwalker. That is the end of the guards. Turn 3. They are pushing back. They have got a bit of a toehold now. I don't think, apart from those Poxwalkers there are no Chaos Forces this side of the bridge. Just one more step, fellas.
Yeah, we've secured our back passage.
Yes.
So the rest of the 37th can come through.
Yeah.
We're just going to sell our lives dearly for the.
You have to hold the bridge. Take the bridge, chaps. One more push, fellas. But before all that happens, the Death Guard have another turn in turn 4. And here we are after the Death Guard's movement phase. We're leaving that Valkyrie circling in the sky. It's quite obvious that they mean to take this crossing point. So the Death Guard mean to push them back. The Poxwalkers shambling their way forward. And shambling their way forward on the other side of the swampy river. I advanced that unit, rolled a 1, so I spent a CP and rolled another 1. So they didn't get very far.
Well spent.
Drones number 1s and 2s coming down this way. Here's another spawn which has just come bursting out after the swamp. You killed his friend with a Thunderhammer. Now he means to take that Inquisitor down.
I'll kill him with a Thunderhammer too.
No, it's well, we'll see. We'll see.
You can't beat Johnny Frost.
Is that his name, Johnny Frost?
Yeah.
Inquisitor Johnny Frost.
Yeah.
Brilliant name for her. It's good. Yeah. Where have I heard that before? Anyway, squad number 3 of the Death Guard jump out of the Rhino, and there will be a lot of bolt gun fire coming in this way. If I pull this off, then there shouldn't be very many Scions left. So let's shoot. 4 Plague Marines firing through the Merc on 4s, re-rolling 1s, wounding the Scions on 3s, and they have a 3-up save on the other side of the barricade, and they're fine. No wounds taken out so far, but this squad, which are hitting on 3s, are loading virulent rounds for 1 CP and shooting at the same squad. These will wound on 3s, but because they're virulent rounds, I reroll 1s. Didn't help me. That's 6 more 3-up saves for these Scions on the other side of the barricade. And 3 of them get cut down. Then the Rhinos fired in, causing no damage at all. Now we're onto the drones at point blank range, firing into the second squad of Scions, hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, and re-rolling 1s, and that's AP -3. 4 of them get evaporated. And drone number 2 fires down into them, hitting on 3s and wounding on 2s. And 3 more get taken out, and that's the squad.
That's them done.
With squad number 2, KIA, that's the end of my shooting phase. This spawn goes charging in against the Inquisitor, and over here these Poxwalkers will attempt to charge this joined platoon here. And I'll make the charge. And the Scions fired Overwatch, taking out 1 before the Poxwalkers managed to hit that charge, leaving 7 remaining, the blessed number. But before we fight with that combat, let's go over here to the spawn. The drone should go in as well. The drone will go in against your Inquisitor as well. The drone will make the charge. And the Inquisitor is completely surrounded, but there's some more charges coming up. The unit that got outside of the Rhino, disembarked the Rhino this turn, will try and charge the command squad and bring this banner down.
No. The colours will stand.
I need to command point reroll that. 7? Yes, the Plague Marines make the charge. The Scions are being pushed back all the way across this side of the river. Now the spawn will attack the Inquisitor because he's the biggest threat. It is mutated beyond reason, and that means I'm AP -4. But I think he's got an invulnerable save, and I have 4 attacks, which hit on 4s. 3 of them hit.
I do have a refractor field in one thing.
2 wounds at -2, 2 damage a time.
5 up. Save 1.
He takes 2 wounds. He's not out of the fight yet. Then before I can continue with any more fights, the Scions step forward. They interrupt and attack the Poxwalkers, hitting on 4s.
Here we go.
That's not great.
It's not great, but not 1 step back.
Not 1 step back. 5s to wound the Poxwalkers.
1 wound.
1 wound. 1 of them falls, which means there's 6 Poxwalkers left. Let's spend a CP on Mutant Strain again. There's a lot of that Mutant Strain going around here. 4s to hit and 3s to wound. Okay, so you have, and I've got a roll to wound them as well. So you have 5 normal saves to make.
Okay.
And then you take 3 mortal wounds in addition, and the Poxwalkers clear the squad. And welcome, it's like welcome to the guard, son. Well, welcome to the Death Guard, son. You're now Poxwalkers.
What's happened to their accent?
Welcome to the Death Guard, son. The brave ranks of the noble Poxwalkers are swelling. All right, let's go back over here to the drone, hitting your Inquisitor. And it hits it 3 times. So wound you on 2s. Wound you twice. Oh, it's a plague weapon. Wound you 3 times at AP bajillion. You need to make your 5-up refractor field saves.
Made 2.
He's down to 1 wound left. He's still hanging in there.
He's a hero. And
then we'll pile in with the Plague Marines into the command squad. And this unit of Plague Marines has a Flail of Corruption.
No, dear.
Which hits 5 times.
We were told it was old men and boys.
Well, they lied. And you need to make 5 6-up saves to keep the command squad alive, or the banner of the 37th will fall.
No.
The banner falls.
No.
This was definitely a bridge too far. So while the Guard are losing fights across the front line, the Inquisitor wields his mighty hammer and swings it down onto the spawn.
Here we go.
And that's really cocked. And hits twice. Can he wound? He wounds twice. I don't get a save. He smushes the spawn into oblivion.
Bye.
And at the end of Death Guard turn 4, they've pushed the guardsmen back across the river, back into the ruins. And all that remains of this Scion raiding force are your HQs, the Taurox Prime, and of course the Vindicator is telling you, don't come here. Whatever you do not come to this place. You've just been pushed all the way back. Of course, the Valkyrie can circle back round and pick you up. But at this point, we're saying this is the way this battle grid ends. Yeah. This is the end of part 1 of Operations Nurgle Garden. But before we fold this up, a couple of narrative things. The Vindicator will take a shot down at Chaos Lord Sabbath.
We all know it's going to be a 1.
He hits.
Yes.
Okay. He wounds on a 2. And he wounds. And this is D3. On a 6, no. On a 6 to wound, it's a flat 3 wounds.
Yeah.
And you've got headshot.
Yes.
So then on a 3, it's another one.
Yeah.
And then on a 4, it's another one.
No.
So it takes 4 wounds off of him. Basically blows a huge chunk out of his head. But it's not the first time that he's had someone shoot half of his brain off. He's been fighting this long war for 10,000 years. And then the Asinian 37th can hear a rumbling in the distance. It's the Mordian Iron Guard.
It's got to be the Mordians. They're coming to save us. We've been dug in. You know, obviously the Vanguard infantry have been wiped out here.
Yeah.
But there's more dug in the ruins in the rest of the city.
Your job was to take this bridge so that the tankers can then just bash on through to the other side
and get to Strike Point Alpha.
Yeah.
So while the part of our thumb-shaped pocket has collapsed here, there's more guys dug in. So hope's not completely lost. It's just not been a success either.
Well, there's more. There's more of the 37th to the right, to the left, trying to draw the Death Guard away. You can hear the rumbling tracks through the city streets. Well, at least a rumbling noise.
Yeah.
Getting louder and louder and louder. And then the Auspex ping and the smoke from all the gunfire in the distance clears and you can see what is making the rumbling, grumbling noise. Chaos Knights enter the AO, racing down towards the bridge. At this point, you sound the retreat.
Yep, we're gonna retreat to the rest of our forces and dig in. We're gonna need to dig in pretty deep.
And so that's the end of part 1 for Operation Nurgle's Guard. The Asinian 37th failed to take their objective and they pulled back into the ruins. Join us next time, part 2, for the Mordian Iron Guard, somewhere down the highway, rumbling towards this AO, hoping that it is open and secured and that they can keep pushing on to strike Force Alpha. Some terrible things are about to befall those guys as well.
No. I think that they've got a good chance. They've got lots of gun.
Lots of tanks, lots of guns.
Lots of bodies.
They need to break on through to the other side. So we do hope you enjoyed that narrative battle report. A bridge too far. Part 1 of Operations Nurgle's Garden. If you want the full campaign, then please join us in the Deployment Zone. If you're already watching this in the Deployment Zone, then you guys are legends. Thank you so much for your support. Happy wargaming!